Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to continue with chapter number 9, Express.JS from the subject Web Frameworks. In last sessions, we have seen the REST API, then introductory part regarding Express.js. We have seen the Express.js, that why to use that Express.js, the need of Express.js. We have seen the features of Express.js and then advantages of Express.js. In last sessions, we have seen about the Express.js request object and its methods and Express.js response object and its methods. In today's session, we are going to continue with the Express.js get request. So here, get and post both are two common HTTP requests used for building the REST APIs. So we are having two methods for request, that is like for Express.js get request and post. So get and post are the HTTP request used for building the REST APIs. So get requests are used to send only limited amount of data because data is sent into header, while post requests are used to send large amount of data because data is sent in the body. So here, whenever we are using that get request method, that it used to send only limited amount of data. Why? Because it send the data into that header, that URL header, and that post request are used to send large amount of data because it says the data in the body. Here, Express.js facilitates you to handle get and post request using the instance of Express. So here you can see the example of Express.js get method. We are going to fetch the data in the JSON format. So here get method facilitates you to send only limited amount of data because data is sent in the header. It is not secure because data is visible in the URL bar. Here you can see the example to demonstrate the get method. Here we are having one HTML file, that is index.html. We are starting with the HTML tag, then body. Here you can see the form tag with the action is equals to the URL we are given here with IP address with the port number and the file here, and the method is get. So we are having first name and last name with the input type as a text, and name is equals to the attribute name is the first name, and then for the last name input type is equals to text, then name is equals to last name. Here we are having one button for submit, like input type is equals to submit and value is equals to submit, and then we have to close the form tag, then body tag, and simple end with the HTML tag. This is a simple file with the first name and last name we are going to submit by using the get request method. This is the HTML file. Then we are having one JS file like get example one.js. So in this file we have to write, like first we have to import the express module here by using the require function, like where express is equals to require, inside the bracket in single quote write express. This is the we are going to import this express module. Then initialize this, like where app is equals to express function. Then use app method here. See app dot use express dot static public. Then app dot get here. We are going to import that index.html file here. Then the function request comma response here. So by using that response object here, we have seen that request methods and request object method and response object method. Use the response object method here, send file. Here you can see that send file method of the response object, like response res dot send file, inside the bracket directory name plus slash. Here you can see plus index, the file name index.html. We are going to send the file as the response here. Then app.get process get. So what is process get? Here you can see this is this URL here with the function request and response. Here we are going to write that inside the function response is equal to, what is the response for that process get here, first name colon request dot query dot first name. It will return the first name, and similarly for last name is colon request dot query dot last name. Okay, so response for this process get here, that we are getting first name and last name, and here we are going to print that response here, console.log response. So response contains the first name and last name, and we are going to end with that response like response.end inside the bracket json dot string file inside, and pass the parameter that response. We have to end that response. And then where server, we have to listen the port number here, like app dot listen the port number here 8000, and the empty function here. That function contains the host name and the port number, like where host is equals to server dot address, then where port for port number, where port is equals to server dot address, and use dot port here for the port number, and print one message like console.log this example app is listening at the, list the URL here like http colon double slash percentage colon percentage comma host and port. So it will give the message like example is listening at the port number and the host name here. So after running this code, what we will get? See here. We will run this code like node and the JS file like get example one.js. So it will give the message like example app is listening at the this URL. It will show that host name and the port number here. We haven't mentioned that host name, so that's why here no host name is here. So it will display that port number here. So after opening the page index.html, so we will get the window like this, first name, and then we have to fill that uh, text here, and the last name we have to fill the text here. And after clicking on the submit button, what we will get here, we will get the data in the JSON format like this here, first name colon Ajit, that data we have entered as the first name and last name like this in the JSON format. And similarly in the browser we will see like this here in the JSON format, first name colon that first name we have entered and the last name we have entered here. So we will get the data in the JSON format like this. So this is all about get method. Now Express.js post method. So the post method facilitates you to send large amount of data because data is sent in the body. Your post method is secure because data is not visible in the URL, but it is not used popularly as get method. On the other hand, get method is more efficient and used more than the post. See here one example for the post method. Similarly, we are having one index file for the first name and last name with one button that is submit, that both form is same, but only difference is there the method name. In previous method we are using the get method here, and now we are using the post method here. Then we are having a JavaScript file for the post method, that is post example.js here. First we have to import the express module here, that is we are going to import that express module by using the require function, then initialize that by where app is equals to express function here, then where body parser we are going to use, or we are going to import that body parser here. Then we are going to create one application here like where URL encoded parser, where URL encoded parcel is equals to body parser dot URL encoded extended colon false. Here we are going to use the method of body parser here. Then app dot use, so that app is the object of the express here. You can see app dot use express dot static public here. Then we are going to get the index file here, that HTML file like this here, app dot get that index.html, and the function request comma response that contains, after fetching that file we are going to send that file like response.send file, then directory name plus that file name. Then after that use the post method here, app.post slash process post. Here you can see that process post with the URL, that comma URL encoded parser comma the function contains the request and response here. So we are going to prepare the output in the JSON format here. So how we are going to prepare here, like that function contains the response is equals to that. Similarly in the previous example we have written in that response body of that function, like response is equals to first name colon request comma request dot body dot first name and last name colon request dot body dot last name. In previous example we have written like the query because it's shown in the URL bar, but in post method it do not show the data in the URL bar. So here that request dot body dot first name. So it will return the first name and the last name as the response. So here we are going to print that response like console.log inside the bracket response. Then we are going to end with that response like response.end json.stringify inside the bracket pass the parameter like response. Here we are going to end with the response. Then we are going to listen that port number and the address here like where server is equals to app dot listen inside the bracket port number and the function. The function contains the address server address and the port number here like where host is equals to server dot address and for the port where port is equals to server dot address dot port here, and we are going to print the message like console.log and the message is example f listening at the port number and the address here or the in the format like http colon double slash percentage colon percentage. That first percentage is for host name and second one is for the port number here. And after running this here like node post example.js, it will show example app is listening at the port number here, and whenever we are going to run that index.html file in the browser, we are getting like first name and the text box for this first name and last name and the text box for the last name. After filling the details in this browser, it will show the data in the JSON format like here. We have seen it will show the data in the JSON format. Here you can see it in the URL bar. It does not show the body that we have entered here. Why? Because we are using the post method here. But in previous example, you can see here it will show the details we have entered in the that enter in the that browser here. So by because of we are using that get method here. So that because of that that get method is not secure, but and the post method is secure. So next one is Express.js routing. So routing is made from the word root. So it is used to determine the specific behavior of an application. To determine the specific behavior of an application, we are going to use the routing. It specifies how an application responds to a client request to a particular route. That path and a specific HTTP request method, that is get or post, get request or post request. So it can be handled, it handles the different types of HTTP request. So we are going to see one example for the basic routing. So here you can see the example for routing. We have to import the express module here using the require function, then initializing that express here. Then we are going to get that function here app.get and the function request comma response. Here console.log we are going to print a message like got a get request for the home page. Okay, first we are printing the message. We are getting the request for the get request for the home page. Then response dot send. What we are going to send? We are going to send one message like welcome to the home page. Okay, here welcome to the Java point here. Then close that function. Then app dot post. Here get and then app dot post here. So then it contains function and it print one message like got a post request for the home page. First we have get the request for the get request for the home page. Now we are getting the post request for the home page, and it contains that response dot send that I am possible here one message for the post here. Then app dot delete, then here slash delete page here. So it contains the function with the parameter request and response. There it contains the body with the message console.log that got a delete request here. Got a delete request for the delete student. These are the pages here. So it sends the response like I am deleted using the response.send. Then after that we are getting enrollment for the student like app.get. inside the bracket slash enroll student. Then it contains the function with the request and response, and it print that function contains the body with the like got a get request for the enroll student here, and it sends the response like response dot send I am an enrolled student. Similarly, like here this response a get request for like we have using some patterns like abcd abxcd. Okay, so after that app dot get like we have pattern slash ab into cd. For that function is there, function request comma response, the parameters are there. It prints like got a get request for this pattern slash ab star cd. So it sends the message like response dot send pattern match. Okay, then we are going to listen the server with the port number and the address, like where server is equals to app.listen and the port number and the function. That function contains the host number, host name and the port by the server dot address for the host and for the port, where port is equals to server dot address dot port. Then we are going to print one message like console.log example app is listening at the port number and host here. So after running this code, here first we are going to run the code like node and that program name.js. After that it will print like example app is listening at the url, like it will show the port number that we have mentioned here, that is 8000. Then here you can see the server is listening now. Then now you can see the result generated by the server, like at local host, like you see the ip address and then the port number here. After entering this ip address with the port number in the browser, you will see the home page message here, like that we have given the message in for the home page here for the first request here, like welcome to java point. Here it will show this message on the browser here. After that, here you can see now at the command prompt it will show like got a get request for the home page. Here got a get request for the home page, and this message will be shown on the browser. Okay, here you can see. And after that, if we after that port number in the browser, if we write like enroll student, here you can see we have seen for the enroll student here. After we write that enroll student, it will show the message like I am an enrolled student here. I am an enrolled student. And the command on the command prompt it will show like got a get request for the enrolled student here. Here you can see on the command prompt it will show like got a get request for slash enrolled student. If we like if you want to match the pattern, like here we have given the pattern abcd abxcd and so on. If we write like that ip address with the port number slash abcd, so it will give the message like pattern match, it will match the pattern with that given pattern here. So we have given the number of patterns here, so it will match that pattern with the given pattern here with using this app.get method here. So it will print that message on the console like got a get request for that abcd here, and it will show the message on the browser like pattern match. Okay, here pattern match, and it will show that got a get request for slash this ab star cd, and it will show the message like pattern match here. Okay, so in this way we have seen the express.js get request and the post request with the examples, and we have seen the express.js routing here. Okay, so that's it for today's session. We will stop here. Thank you.